Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rachel. Today we're going to be talking about nail salons in the United States, how it fosters, continues to perpetuate, and sustain racism, my experience getting fungus and nail infections at nail salons, and why I don't go to nail salons anymore. The reason why I'm making this video is because I kind of want to bring attention to an issue I think isn't spoken about enough in pop culture media on social media such as YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, because it is covered up by the appearance of beauty standards. So if you like my content, you like my channel, and you like me, please subscribe down below, hit that post notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you so much, it means a lot to me. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's spill the nail tea, as one would say. Okay, yeah. So having beautiful nails is such a big part of the beauty standards in the United States. It seems like every single celebrity has perfectly curated, trimmed, manicured nails, whether they're long or super short. It reflects onto us, and we are then, as consumers, taught to believe that we as well must have beautiful curated nails created by going to nail salons and getting them done professionally. I think having your nails done truly symbolizes like the idea of having your life together, looking well kept and clean. In fact, it does look hygienic and it does look clean to have your nails done, manicured perfectly to the T. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience at nail salons. Next, I will be talking about Dr. Spalding's statistical evidence in his research book, Death by Pedicure, to support why I stopped going to nail salons and why I recommend others don't go as well. Next, I will be talking about race and class associated with nail salons, how it's a systemic issue, and why the government isn't regulating it better. Sorry this seems so formulaic, but I really want to make sure I'm proving my points, so let's go into my personal experience. Growing up, I've always loved going to nail salons. It was more of a treat to me because I couldn't afford to go to nail salons, you know, once a month or once every 2 weeks like a lot of people do. I would go through phases of going to nail salons and then stopping and then going, and up until 2017 I was going frequently with a friend who also loved to get her nails done, or with my mom who liked to get her nails done as well, but we didn't do it all the time is what I'm trying to say. It was more like a treat, but I did love having my nails kept and getting my nails done. And I remember noticing that there were these like white spots on my nail beds every time I get my nails done, and I'd ask the nail salon manicurist or pedicurist, "Hey, do you know what that is? What is it?" And they were like, "Oh, you just need to buff it out. It's just the polish damage, like it's nothing big." I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just because nail damage or something. And then one day I went to my podiatrist to see if I should get the ingrown nail surgery. Basically what they do is they cut off part of your nail if you have chronic ingrown nails. All my family members have had it done. My podiatrist didn't want to do it to me because he said it was kind of a brutal surgery if you didn't need it. And he thought I didn't need it, but he did tell me I had toe fungus from going to nail salons. And I was in denial. I was like, that is disgusting. How dare you say that? It is pretty gross. I'm just trying to relay the facts. And he gave me antifungal medicine to put on it. He recommended I put tea tree oil on it every single night, as well as buff it out with like a nail file to kind of get rid of the fungus. He says that sometimes what happens is when you keep on putting nail polish on your toes, it's like this layer where fungus can grow in between because the toenail polish isn't breathable. I don't know why this was like a good visual idea. It's the best way I can explain it. So fungal nail infections are caused by various fungal organisms, fungi, and you can get like yeast infections on your feet from going into gyms with like no shoes on, sweat, athlete's foot, those kind of things, and also nail salons. So that was my first experience with having kind of a negative setback at a nail salon. I realized, okay, this is really gross. I need to lay off the toe polish for a while and just get my feet back to normal. And then I would also recommend not wearing nail polish for more than 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, change your nail polish, change your toe color, give your toes space to breathe, and put tea tree oil on them. Now the second experience I had was a little bit more horrendous. I went to go get my nails done. This was back in November 2017, December 2017-ish. And I went with my mom and we were sitting in the nail salon. I was getting a mani-pedi, which means a manicure and a pedicure. So when you get a manicure and a pedicure, you're usually sitting down in a chair with a little tray table next to you and your feet go in a whirlpool foot bath. Now, these foot baths are very problematic. I'm going to go into detail why they are, but I'm going to share my experience first. So when I was putting my feet in the foot bath, everything was fine. My manicurist, the lady at the nail salon, was helping me with my nails. I had my hands sitting in a little bowl of water, and what she ended up doing was taking that bowl of water that my hands were sitting in and dumping the water into the foot bath. And then she scooped up with the bowl water from the foot bath. I'm gonna repeat, water from the foot bath, and washed my hands with my foot water.
My dirty foot water.
Disgusting, okay? And I was mortified. I hate confrontation. I'll do it if it's absolutely necessary, like if someone messes with my family members or my friends, but I just was not about to go off on this lady. She was washing my hands with my dirty foot water. Lo and behold, I got a nail infection from it. So this is the only video I have of my nail infection. It doesn't look that bad, but it was extremely painful. I had to go in 2 rounds of antibiotics, amoxicillin. My brother and I were going ring shopping for his wife, so this is when he was proposing to her, and I was just trying on rings, so I video recorded it. Thank God I got a video of what my disgusting nail looked like. I found a journal article called The Clinical Management and Outcome of Nail Salon-Acquired Mycobacterium Fortuitum Skin Infection by Kevin L. Winthrop and al. And they did a clinical study about the foot bath water and how that has bacteria in it. And when the lady scooped up water to put on my hands from my foot bath, that has to be when I caught the bacterial infection. And at nail salons, when they're cutting your cuticles, it gives you more exposure to infection. Recently, Mycobacterium fortuitum and other rapidly growing mycobacteria have been found to cause severe skin and soft tissue infections in association with nail salon whirlpool foot baths. So the results of this article show that out of 62 patients they tested for the infection, 32 people had a culture-confirmed disease. That's more than half. Okay, that brings me to my next point. There is a podiatrist named Dr. Robert Spalding who wrote a book titled Death by Pedicure about diseases and infections at nail salons. I'm going to read off some of the statistics that he claims in his book. So he claims that as many as 75% of nail salons don't follow their state regulations for disinfections. This proves that there's obviously not enough monitoring on what goes on at nail salons because it's not seen as a health care practice. It's not as regulated as a hospital, let's say. Okay, so according to some researchers from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, many foot baths do contain bacteria that could cause boils and rashes. And the reason why it's so hard to bust these salons is because sometimes infections grow up to 4 months after you've had any kind of nail salon treatment. Another thing which the book talks about, which is very interesting, is the fact that not all tools they use on you at nail salons can be sanitized. So for example, you can't really sanitize a nail file. The only true form of sanitation is an autoclave, which is only mandatory in states such as New York, Texas, and Iowa, I believe. But things such as pumice stones or nail files, nail buffers, toe separators, all those things need to be switched out completely if you're going to use them on a person and then try to use them on another person, because you just can't properly sanitize that. So it's statistically only less than 1% of nail salons use autoclaves, which are actually the only definitive way of killing all kind of bacteria. Dr. Spalding also states, and I quote, "At this time, an estimated 1 million unsuspecting clients walk out of their chosen nail salon with infections, bacterial, viral, or fungal." And no matter what salon you go to, there's always a risk of getting an infection. Now, there are some things that you can do to try to prevent getting them, such as don't shave before your appointment. When you shave, it opens up your pores. You're more likely to get an infection. You don't know if you got a razor cut or something and you're putting your legs into a foot bath, which can cause an infection. I'd also recommend bringing your own tools, your own instruments, your own cuticle cutter, any kind of nail file, anything that you know is only being used on yourself. And I also recommend asking for a dry manicure. So what that means is not putting your hands in water like I did, toe water. Last thing I want to talk about is more of a sociological perspective and historical perspective on why nail salons are problematic in the United States. So on a bigger level, these unregulated, unsanitized nail salons have a deeper rooted issue. The lack of government regulation actually fosters and continues to perpetuate anti-Asian sentiments. I say this because it's very stereotypical and it also depends on the region, but people of lower class come to work at nail salons and most of them tend to be very skilled Asian immigrants coming in. These minorities lack the proper resources and don't get any government help to have any kind of upward mobility or leave their jobs. The government also doesn't provide the right amount of resources to pay them better funds to upgrade and have proper equipment to sanitize their instruments. So I did some research and I found a chapter from the book titled The Managed Hand, Race, Gender, and the Body in Beauty Service Work by Miliann Kang. Kang states, quote, "Rather than recognizing the multiple forces that collude in creating health risks, not just for customers but also for manicurists, certain customers transfer their anxiety and dissatisfaction with nail services to their individual manicurists and the racial groups to which they belong. In doing so, these customers both overlook and contribute to the conditions that led Time magazine to name nail salon worker as one of the worst jobs in America in 2007. So Asian immigrants are seen as those who threaten to undermine US society through physical contaminations, inferior cultural practices, and economic competition. So this isn't just a vanity issue, it isn't just a health issue, although that is important. It is a race-based discriminatory issue that it should be talked about more often. Like, it's kind of crazy that it isn't. In the United States specifically, there have been generations upon generations of anti-Asian sentiments such as the Chinese Exclusion Act in the 1800s, this idea of the old yellow peril, or anti-sentiments towards Asians, discriminations towards Asians have manifested itself into other institutions such as nail salons. And let's keep it real, let's be honest with ourselves, we all have high expectations and high demands when we get our nails done by manicurists. But in my opinion, they're just simply not paid the right wages, nor do they have the right amount of resources to create a better environment at nail salons for both the manicurist and the customer. I mean, there are a lot of toxins released into the air when these manicurists are painting our nails. That's why some of them wear the face mask, and it could cause cancer or defects to them as well. So both the customers and the manicurists are greatly negatively affected at nail salons. I think that they deserve the right amount of resources and wages to give proper sanitization and care to the customers as well as for themselves. I want to say this is a systemic problem. So moving forward, I would encourage all of you guys to also have a voice about this, to also tell your friends and family why this is problematic, not just on a health level, but on a discriminatory race-based level as well. I wanted to make this video to bring awareness to this issue because I don't think it is talked about enough, because I think it's overshadowed by westernized beauty, the beauty standards that we uphold, the culture that we are creating, and we have the ability to change culture. I will always remember Chimamanda Adichie saying that people change culture, culture doesn't change us, so we have the ability to change culture. And that is the end of my video. Woo! Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this more educational, informative video. If you do like this video, please give me a like down below. If you don't, please tell me why you didn't like it. I will be happy to receive any kind of constructive criticism. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Also, please let me know what you guys think and if you guys still get your nails done at nail salons. I personally like doing my manicure myself. I also keep my nails short because I do like to play piano and having long nails prohibits that. and also for sanitary reasons because I'm a little OCD. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys for the next video. God bless my Filipino mother is all I have to say.